Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Missing Lynx post-game live stream podcast. As you heard, Cassidy Hedesheimer is sitting next to me, feverishly typing about A'ja Wilson not having 37 points. But with me on the podcast is Kinga Taylor. How's it going, Kinga?
Good. I'm much better than almost at midnight 2 days ago when some people were like, Fee is bad and everybody's bad. And
yeah, everyone was kind of good today. I mean,
everybody was kind of good today. It turns out that when Cheryl says something, people listen to it.
I mean, it's Travis Singleton, sneaker reporter, asked her after the game of just like, do you feel like your comments were heard? And I think Cheryl said the second, third, and fourth quarter they were heard. They end up holding the Aces 37% shooting in the second, third, and fourth. They also only gave up 20 points in the paint in those three quarters, which I guess we'll kind of start with just Lynx do win 98-87 over the Aces. And A'ja Wilson had maybe her worst game of the season, -11, just 16 points. I mean, what was your kind of thoughts as she was struggling today?
So I was watching her. I'm like, A'ja hasn't scored. I think her first points came 3 minutes 3 minutes before the end of the first quarter. And I was surprised, and I'm like, hey, the defense is definitely looked better than against the Sparks, but I'm like, but A'ja's not getting hers. And I'm like, well, I guess we just have to figure out how to not let Jackie step into open threes.
And they did figure that out at some point. I mean, she still ended up going 3 of 6 from 3, but she missed a couple big ones. Dustin mentions in the chat, Dorka was not good. Dorka was not good. 9 minutes, she did hit a 3, and she did get a rebound, but it was again defensive stuff where it was just it's just tough. Which any Dorka comments before we move immediately off of Dorka and go back to good vibes?
Yes, she is so slow. Like, she is T. McCowan level. Like, she's getting to like Tierra McCowan slowness, and she doesn't seem very agile, which is not a great thing for us. And like as a big in general, like you have to show some agility, and she just doesn't. So that's my Dorka input from today.
Terry Horseman of the Nine he told me about a quote that Cheryl had back in 2023 when Dorka was a rookie. And Cheryl said that Dorka might be the only player she's coached that's faster with the basketball in her hand. And I co-sign that. It's a plodding stride, which is, again, if you're plodding and big, but you're quick on your feet and you're able to like rotate well and understand like concepts, fine. Like plodding bigs can have a place, but it's been tough. That's our Dorka Yuhas segment today, though. We're not going to go 11 minutes on it tonight. Eddie says, put Kosu in, please. I'm
co-sign that. I co-sign that.
We'll be here pregame tomorrow and want to ask Cheryl about that, just because it's, again, just a lot of DNPs, which I guess I don't like. I get it. Someone's not going to play, and you do want to give Dorka the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, like at some point, you kind of run out of benefit of the doubts, right?
Yeah, like she ran pretty deep at the beginning of that of the Sparks game, and I was like, oh, is she just like trying out everyone? Because I figured that like, oh, maybe they think that they're going to readily win against the Sparks and try out new combinations with people. I don't even know like how deep she went. I didn't count like how deep she went during the Sparks game, but I'm like, oh, poor Ola still didn't see the floor. But yeah, I mean, give her a try. Give her a try if you're going like 10 deep anyway. Might as well throw Ola out there and see who she can muscle.
And I don't think it's their. I don't think they're preferring like big lineups, because we did see almost exclusively Tosh and Fee out there, even when Asia and Nalissa Smith were out there, which the fans that were just aggressively booing Nalissa Smith all game, I mean, shout out to the real Dijonay fans out there.
Hey,
But
Dijonay was coming in clutch against that Fever game too today. So
Dijonay did have a pretty
Dijonay,
clutch clothesline in that Fever game today. I guess that's one way to say it.
comes in the chat
But
too.
you know, Coffee played center for like 4 or 5 minutes tonight. I don't think it's a size thing. I honestly think at this point they're just trying to give Dorka every chance before they pull the plug. But
Yeah,
I'm with you. It seems like it might be Kosu time. Defense on Asia Wilson. For anyone that was worried about Fee being back, though, I mean, she was impeccable against Asia tonight.
awesome. She was awesome, and it's like, you know, there's still some shots that Asia Wilson is going to make because she is Asia Wilson, but like Fee was like so pumped up. I think like she had like one of the blocks against Asia. That must have been like the second.
All three of Fee's blocks were against Asia today.
That is like she I think Fee is back. I think the 3 looked so good today. And I know that because I was talking about the 3 the last time that we were talking, and that the 3 kind of looked a little bit shaky, but the 3 is so back. The 3 is back.
5 of 7. She joked after the game that she knew she was going to be hitting from 3 as soon as people weren't biting on her pump fakes, which like that's Fee. If this is just, I'll preface it by saying Coach Reeve also said post game, if they can get to a place where half of Fee's shots are from 3, they're going to be feeling pretty good. So like, if this is just the end game plan for Fee, where she's shooting 7 or 8 threes a night, I mean, sign me up. That was awesome offense every time.
Yes, and I think, and so my husband and I were at the game today, and he says, and I've noticed this too, that like Liv misses Fee a lot on pops. So I think like that's still is a working progress with their like working relationship. But I think like once Olivia sees Fee as much as she sees Tosh, I think that that's going to be then it's really over for the other team. So like once Olivia starts seeing, because I don't think that she sees Fee as well as she sees Tosh, and it's, to me at least, it's very interesting to see that like Courtney and Fee still have that like a great relationship, and you can see them like work together, like haven't lost the beat, and like Courtney's doing her Courtney stuff from last year. But then Olivia and Tosh have like that really great relationship, and I think they still need, and I think they kind of talked about it at the after the game interviews, that they still need to like learn kind of each other, and I think that's still developing. But the amount of times that Olivia missed Fee on a pop today, Fee could have had a couple of more threes.
It's one of those things that like Liv always compares herself to a quarterback, right? Of like reading a defense, using her eyes, like going through progressions. It's very kind of similar, honestly, between the two positions. Fee is like a Justin Jefferson. She doesn't have to be open. She doesn't have to be like in single coverage. She doesn't have to run the right route. Like Fee is just going to make good things happen. And I think sometimes that just breaks players' brains, especially like when you're a young point guard and you're learning of like all of these things. When do I hit someone on a pass? When do I thread like a pocket pass in? For Fee, everything is open. Like unless she is being dragged down to the ground, she's the right read. And I do think it's just a matter of time before Liv is just all of a sudden understanding like, okay, if Fee looks like she's covered in this pick and roll, Fee's not covered if I put the ball here. There's also a couple passes that I noticed today where like Liv overled Fee by like 3 full strides, and it's like there's definitely some rust still.
I know, and Liv definitely had a couple of Julius Randle passes today, and I'm like, let's not. And I think this is the second game in a row when she has had some Julius Randle passes, and I'm like, come on, Liv, come on.
It is one of those things where she passes the ball very confidently to the third row maybe the most confident third row passes. I mean, honestly, that's the only negative I've took from this game is Fee and Liv had 9 out of the team's 14 turnovers, but when they're holding the ball 80% of the game, you know, it's gonna happen. But the fact that this team just beat the Aces, who are coming into today the number 2 team in the league, by 11, and there's still room for the Lynx to get, you know, another percent or two better, it got to be encouraging.
Yeah, absolutely. Today they looked like a team that could beat any of the top 8 teams in the league in any series,
which is wild. I mean, again, this was not the season that we expected. We're actually going to be doing a post game or a postseason primer. I think it's actually primer, a postseason show where Elmos, Cassidy, and Terry jump back on, and we listen back to some of our takes before, because we were all wrong. Even the optimists were wrong, because Olivia Miles. I mean, have you ever seen a player just get it as fast as Liv?
I've never, and I think I said this like the first time that I saw her, and mind you, like I haven't watched basketball for as long as a lot of people have, but being in the presence of someone like Olivia Miles and seeing her so often and seeing her live, it is just nothing that I have experienced ever. And while I haven't watched basketball for a long time, I've been watching both the Lynx and the Wolves consistently here for several years. I have not seen anything like that. And I did have a crash out on TikTok if anybody wants to go and watch that video, because Threads is the worst place ever, and all the conversation about Liv coming to a stack team, a championship level team, and I pulled all the receipts of like what I know, like I've been on a couple of things with you at the beginning of the season, and you were like, oh yeah, we're gonna be like good, but how good? Mm-hmm. All the publications from ESPN to CBS Sports, everybody was like, the Lynx took a step back. They're no longer championship level team. I think Sports Illustrated gave the Lynx a C after the draft, and saying how like they took a step back. Nobody expected this, and it is because of her. And for those who don't remember, there were only 4 returning players from last year's roster. It is because of her, and that is undeniable. And if you like a different player who's not Olivia Miles, by all means, everybody has that right. Everybody has their favorites. But her impact and her value on this team and what the Lynx have achieved with her cannot be understated. There is no if, and, or buts about it.
I mean, spot on. Honestly, spot on. I was more optimistic and said if this team could be 500 by the time Fee comes back, like the playoffs are going to be super fun. They end up being almost 20 games over 500 by the time Fee comes back, and the playoffs are going to be a lot of fun. I think that's a staple at this point. But like, yeah, I didn't think it would be anything like this. I thought, you know, you still have 2 all-stars at guards in Mac and Courtney, but things take time. The fact that like Tosh has been able to just come in here and been awesome right away. The fact that like Maya has come in and been an immediate impact player. Nia has come in and been awesome. It's I don't know if we should be crediting Olivia Miles or Cheryl Reeve, who deserves the most credit, but like honestly, they both have had a huge impact on this.
Right. You can split it down. You can split it. I mean, if Cheryl would have listened to the fans, Lynx fans, then she would have probably drafted Lauren Betts. And would we be in the same situation? I don't know. But I think Cheryl bringing in Olivia, and then Olivia just being like, I'm just going to do my thing, and Cheryl is like, I'm going to let you do your thing. And yeah, I think they can split the bounty amongst them.
I just hope that this season, when awards come, and I don't have a vote on awards, so I'd be open and honest about that. Like, I just think when awards come, if Cheryl isn't near unanimous Coach of the Year, Executive of the Year, like something needs to be looked into because
then we demand a recount.
I mean, honestly, this Lynx team was supposed to be a 7 seed. They weren't supposed to be that good. Even, you look at Cheryl before the season saying this might be closer to 2023 than 2024 or 25. Like, no one, including Cheryl, it honestly expected this, I think. And then as soon as it started going, like Cheryl's ability to empower certain players, put players in success, like she deserves to be coach and executive. Then you look at their books moving forward. 2 years from now, everybody's off of the contracts except for Liv and Ola. Like, the ability to what happened with the Mystics? Oh, the Mystics just signed Lainey Hamilton. Oof,
yeah, I just got that breaking news.
Let's not play the Mystics in the first round, please. Let's not.
I think they are the
no, I don't want this. I know people say this sometimes of like, oh, I don't have a vote. I don't want to vote. Like, I do not want one. Like, the fact that this affects people's money, if it got offered, I would decline. I don't want to affect players' money by not watching enough teams. I bring it up often with like the Fever, for example. I have now watched 4 Indiana Fever games this year. I should not be deciding who is on the all WNBA teams. I think that's just malpractice. So no vote for Andrew Dukowitz. But Kinga, back to more of my point of just, I mean, this might be Cheryl's like magnum opus greatest accomplishment season if they win the championship.
Here's the thing. I think like at this point she could do anything. Like, I think a bigger challenge for her would be like put her and try to do this in a different sport. I don't know go over to Target Field and like do something with the Savannah Bananas that I just learned about. But I don't like, it's top notch. Like, what else can she do?
The Twins could sign her, and I think the Twins would be a marketably better run team and organization. And that's no disrespect to who has it now. But like the Wild, I think if you replaced her as the coach of the Wild, she could probably do a pretty good job. It's there's the sky's the limit, which we'll kind of figure out how long. My guess is Cheryl's career in Minnesota is going to be longer than some people, because last couple of years some people have been speculating that Cheryl might be done in 2 or 3 years, or might want to just be a mom or stuff like that. Cheryl might coach until she's 100.
She's going to be the Greg Popovich of WNBA, and she'll never leave. She can't leave because what do we do then?
Does if Cheryl coaches like another 25 years, and let's just say generously she wins like 7 more championships in the next 25 years, which is actually not at her current pace of championships, but let's say 7 rings. Yeah. Does the like roof of the Target Center start to tilt one way from how unbalanced it is between the Lynx and the Wolves?
Mean, it is so pathetic looking at the other side of the rafters. Like, I do it a lot. I'm like, oh, there it is.
Like, we love Malik Sealy. It was a tragic death, and Flip forever, has a place in Minnesota's heart. But like, man, we got to start getting some jerseys on the other side. If they win a ring this year, I've said it a couple times, I think K-Mac gets retired. Like, 6 years with the franchise, wins a ring. Like, she's up there. Yeah. Tosh, maybe. Like, if Tosh finishes her career here, wins a ring, start and finish, she's on 3 championship teams. I think she has a fair say. Court, if she plays another 2 or 3 years in the city and wins a ring, like, there might end up being like 15 jerseys in the rafters and like
and
7.
looking at the track record, what almost
Katie
all of
Smith still isn't up there. Like
almost, and then almost all of her starters are gonna come back as coaches because apparently, like, you know, she just does that. You come play for her, and then you come and work for her.
I know someone mentioned K-Max saying on Bird's Eye View that playing with Olivia makes her want to play 5 to 10 more years. Like, honestly, if someone could do it and play to like the age of 50, it would be K-Mac. But to your point of coaching too, I wouldn't be surprised if K-Mac just like retires, doesn't tell anyone, and then is just on the bench the next season as in like a suit, and no one really knows why until it comes out that she's coaching. King, I'm going to throw us over to a quick ad read. When we come back, we'll keep talking about Lynx glory days, and I don't know, we should probably talk Liv. Well, hello. Thank you, Livestream Andrew. This is Ad Read Andrew, and today we have Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, the presenting sponsor for the Missing Links podcast. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling strives to inspire people to follow their ideas, working with respect and understanding to create a quality, tailored result. Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, located in Blaine and serving in the North Metro area, is here to help you with your building and remodeling needs. I can say personally, thanks to Firehawk Construction and Remodeling, I have a beautiful deck in my backyard and countless projects that I started, they finished. Get started on your new deck or remodel today by calling Isaac at 763-710-5686. And we're back with another ad read, this time for Pence Homes, the presenting sponsor of Hitting the Hardwood Network. From the best tools and technology to transparency throughout the entire process, Nate Pence and the Pence Homes team is the top choice for buyers, sellers, and is proud to support you and your home ownership goals. Get started today by calling 612-308-1122 or by emailing info@pencehomes.com. Immediate snort laugh almost as Let's Turn It Up says, does anyone else feel like at this point they could quote Andrew's ad reads? That's the point. It's the point. So when you're moving to your next house or like your bathroom sinks breaks, you're just like Firehawk Construction, Nate Pence, and those are the only people you will ever go for. I mean, Kinga, I'll just ask you, like, K-Mac gets her jersey retired, right? Like she's going to be a coach and live here forever at this point.
Oh, 100%. I've made a video about this, and I don't care if she doesn't win a championship here, although, you know, signs are looking up that it could be possible. I think even if she doesn't win, like, it just needs to be there. Like what she's doing for this team is incredible. And I love her so much. And yeah, I think that just has to happen.
It's like I struggle with it because, like I said, Katie Smith still isn't up there, and she's WNBA Hall of Famer, was on championship teams. So I don't know exactly what their standard is because it's the starting 5 from their dynasty years, essentially. Like K-Mac, that's the one I feel confident of, like, the year after she retires, it's up in the rafters. 100%. And then the other thing is, like, K-Mac's buying a house in Minnesota now. I'm sure at some point
she's Minnesotan. We don't even care that she's from, like, you know, New England.
Transplants can come here. It's fine as long as you're a good vibe. Like, you can live here. I think about it like, you know, Prince says the cold keeps all the bad people out. Like, honestly, it kind of does. Like, K-Mac's a cool person. She can live here forever.
She can live here. She lives here.
I guess the other topic I wanted to talk about, we talked a little bit about Fee and just her defense and her 3-point shooting, but like, this team has a little bit of ways to go. As Dustin mentioned earlier in the chat, you know, missed quite a few layups. I think at one point they were shooting under 50% just on inside the 2-point shot, 2-point range, 2-pointers, sub 50% on 2-pointers. That makes actual sense. Ghost, she is not from NOLA. She is from Pennsylvania near Pittsburgh. She's a big Steelers fan, which as a Ravens fan. But Fee just like when this starts to get rolling, I mean, have you come up with any ideas of how you're going to stop this offense?
No. And like, I think K-Mac hasn't been shooting that much, but like Courtney has been on fire. And I haven't watched basketball for that long, but my husband is saying that the Lynx have the potential being the beautiful Spurs of like everybody can score from anywhere. And I think that's just the reality of it. And I wish Fee would have gotten back a little bit earlier just to get those reps with the team. And that's why, like we talked the other day, that her going to FIBA is going to be good for her. But the minute this thing clicks, and it will click, and I think, it will have to click before the playoffs. I think they are unstoppable because, like, you can't guard everyone. And if Liv starts making ridiculous 3-point shots, like, what are we doing here?
I mean, we saw that tonight. I feel like the Aces, and I haven't rewatched the game yet, so this is just me going off of memory. Feel like the Aces tried really hard to just put Asia on Fee, let that live, and then just bottle up Liv on everything. Of just, if she's doing that pick and roll with Tosh, we're just blitzing Liv. Do not lose Liv, and then whoever is not guarding Liv, just stay with Court. And Mac pops off for 12 points in the first quarter, hitting 4 threes. And then you kind of see the Vegas go like, oh, shoot, well, that wasn't a good idea. Let's shift the coverage from Liv a little bit onto Mac so that Mac doesn't keep crushing them. And then Liv just starts hitting shots in the second quarter. And it's like, okay, well, that we got to move some help to Liv now. And then Court goes off in the third quarter. And then Fee just, hits 3 threes in the third quarter as well, which, like, I don't know how you can scheme to stop the offense. Again, the defense, I think, is the thing where you can take advantage of the Lynx, like corner threes. There's some stuff that I think you can just get. But offensively, I have no clue how you stop this team when those 5 starters are in.
Right. And I think, and out of the 5 starters, I think the only one that can have like kind of bigger like valleys of shooting slump is Courtney, but like that's 1 out of 4, and you still have Tosh and K-Mac and Fee and Liv, and that's still 4 players. And Courtney, even if she's not shooting, she's going to be, like running around and doing all of the other stuff that she always does. So she's going to be impactful either way, but still you have 4 players that can shoot from anywhere and get points.
Even Tosh hit a 3 tonight, which is still just like objectively weird every time she does it. But the like, her shot looks really good. I kind of wish she would do it a little bit more.
I was surprised when that happened. I was like, what? But there we go. Even though like both of her thumbs are messed up because she has like stuff on both of her thumbs. She needs FIBA break. When is FIBA break? She needs to go to Hawaii or wherever K-Mac is.
2 weeks. I think it's in like 2.5 weeks. Again, we talked about it the last post-game live stream podcast thing, but all the players going to FIBA, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like Alicia, go out there, run up and down. Tony, get a rhythm.
Yeah.
Dorka, get more minutes. Like, awesome. Fee, get more minutes. And all the players that aren't going to FIBA are the people that you're like, oh, for the love of God, just like sit in your room for like 96 hours to start the break and just like.
And when K-Mac went down, I was like, if she gets hurt, I am going to, I don't know what I was going to do, but be very sad would have been one of the things.
Dustin mentions Asia's dad was behind him today. Rough day for Asia's dad, I would assume, because woof. Last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, just officiating. I saved it for the last part of this because I don't think it really played a huge part into a game that the Lynx won by 11. But you have Fee and Liv shooting 37 times. 37. 23 of those shots were from inside the arc. and they got 3 shooting fouls called on them. Like it is wild how inconsistent the officiating is. It's literally just wild.
I don't think that it has, like, there is no rule of like what is a foul this possession and what is going to be a foul next possession, and what is a reckless closeout this game and what is a reckless closeout in a different game, or again in the same game. I think that, like, last year there was problems with officiating because it just got like MMA out there and everybody was like running amok, and they had a really tight whistle at the beginning of this season, and now it's just random.
Yeah.
What is a foul, what is a not foul? I don't know at this point.
It's so inconsistent for me. Like even on Asia, right? And I asked Cheryl about it after the game, and she went the Asia Wilson kind of route of she gets officiated differently. But even Asia only got 3 shooting fouls called. Like she went to the line for 6 free throws, shot 17 times, 14 inside the arc. She is the number 1 attention getter on the Lynx's like defensive side. I'm sorry, like in 33 minutes, you're telling me Asia Wilson only got fouled 3 times, like going for a shot. This is from the other side from the Aces side. Like that's ludicrous. And then you're telling me on the other side in 69 minutes of play, Liv and Fee only got fouled 3 times. That's insane, which people who listen to this know that I am against 3-hour-long basketball games and I'm against super high foul like tallies, but it has to be within reason. Like you look at the end total of it and what it's personal fouls, 31 personal fouls total, like 20 on the Lynx, 11 on the Aces. 31 fouls seems about right for a 40-minute game. It was just weird. It was just called so weird, where it's like an inbound foul going against Fee, and it's like,
Where?
How about we don't call that one? And when Asia gets like ripped from behind by Kayla McBride and K-Mac gets all wrist, we call that one instead. Like that seems to make more sense. Which,
and then like I think it's like close to the end of the fourth when like Jackie jumps into someone. I can't remember who she jumps into, and then they call Mac. I think it was Mac. Yeah, I'm like, she jumped into her, and then that's a foul, and then we're like, okay.
It's just I'm not going to sit here and say. And Ghost asks, how could it be officiating? More money, better refs, more training. I'll be honest. I don't think the NBA has it right either. Like the NBA, I think calls a lot of really ticky-tack stuff that like break up flows of game and like honestly takes the crowd out of it. I feel like the WNBA gets like better crowd performances because you're able to like enjoy a game without a whistle every 45 seconds. I do think a lot of it is just training though. Like you look at the NBA and their officials, for the most part, most of them have been officials for like 30 years. And before they were NBA officials, they officiated in the G League or college or the WNBA. And I think, unfortunately, the WNBA has been used more of like a training ground for officials to get to the NBA than being a top job. Where what I mean by that is like most of the WNBA officials also officiate Big Ten basketball because they don't get paid enough. So they go and officiate college during their off season. Like it's just, I think that side of it needs to get better, where you're getting experienced officials that want to be WNBA officials and that aren't using it as like a stepping stone.
Yeah, and there is this article that it's a long article that my husband sent me that talks specifically about officiating, and I think more on the NBA side that there's like no real training for like crew chiefs, and once the older crew chiefs start retiring, there's no one really to pick that up So if there's an issue on the NBA side, safe to say that it's even worse on the WNBA side, that there's just not enough training and preparation for refs and crew chiefs. So it's very sad because like they were like, oh, we're having like a work group and figure out officiating, and it went from like everything was a foul to now certain things are certain fouls like certain times.
It's just, I think the other thing that could go a long way to fixing it is just transparency. Like the NFL is by no means perfect with officiating, but like they put out a report on every single call throughout the entire game and the justification for it. That's probably a little too much for the WNBA or the NBA because they have like 70 stops of play any given day. But like having transparency where you're seeing the justification for some of these things, not just like a 2-minute report that doesn't mean anything, but I think that would help a ton, which I remember when I wrote about the WNBA refs last year, like they don't even have a public database to like see what teams' records are against refs or how many fouls they call in a game. Like I had to go to people's like LinkedIn to figure out their career history. It really is, I think between transparency and just experience, I think that would go a long way, which you can't tell me that some of these NBA refs wouldn't officiate WNBA games if they got paid the same salary. I think the money side of it probably would help a lot too. I don't know if Tony Brothers would be great for the WNBA, but
I was just about to say, I don't know if he wants Scott Foster because maybe on Thursday we would have never gotten home.
But Scott Foster is just like, this game's too good. It has to keep going. On that note, though, a couple people have shouted out Courtney. Yeah, Courtney was awesome tonight. Also led the team in rebounds for like most of the night. Tosh got a couple in garbage time, but Court was like leading the Lynx in rebounds for a vast majority of this game, which
Courtney
they don't win it without Court.
Courtney is extremely dialed in, specifically like after a couple of games after All-Star break when the crown apple just totally went out of her system. She has been on such a different level. Like she has been so dialed in. Not that she like ever, I don't think that she ever like takes mental days off from games. I think sometimes she struggles with her shooting, but and not so much turnovers this year because she doesn't handle the ball quite as much as she did last year. But I think like these definitely last 3 games, she has been incredibly locked in.
Which like, I do think Cheryl saying everyone was terrible aside, Courtney, Nia, K-Mac have all been like locked in every game, which helps a lot when your leaders are doing that. Kinga, we're at 40 minutes. Let's call it. Thank you so much for doing this again. Where can people find you and where can they support your stuff on Victory Plus too?
So people can find me on TikTok at Kinga, and then if you go into like kind of like the Lynx side of Victory Plus, if you scroll down, there are the 3 creators that are doing videos for like Lynx stuff, and you can find my stuff there. And then everything else is on TikTok.
Awesome. Thank you, Kinga. For anyone that joined in, this will get posted Sunday morning at 7. The Sparks game post-game live stream podcast thing didn't get posted until this afternoon. There was a StreamYard issue where I couldn't download it. So if you did want to re-listen to that one as well, that is up on Spotify now. If you are not wanting to relive that one, this podcast, Much Happier, will be up at 7 a.m. It'll also be on YouTube and X as soon as I end the stream here. And then we will be back tomorrow after the Wings game. And I believe Crunch is joining me. Did a couple pieces for Hitting the Hardwood earlier this year. Coaches basketball. He's always a fun hang. So we'll be back after the Wings game.